What is up, guys? Welcome back to YouTube Berlick. Today, of course, we're doing another ranking. Today, we are talking about one of the best new metal bands or progressive metal, shoegaze, whatever you want to call them, Deftones. Oh yeah, we have our little white pony here. Look how cute she is. Yeah, you gotta love them. Just look how cute. But anyways, Deftones, I absolutely love them. When I did my top 10 favorite albums of all time video, they were on the thumbnail. One of their albums was in the top 20. I'm not going to tell what it is, but my number one has changed. It has changed compared to when I made that video a month ago. So, just putting that out there. They, though they have one album, obviously number 9, that I'm not the biggest fan of, overall, they're a very good band. And I have 6 of their CDs. Let's get right into this ranking after the intro.
Hands up.
Okay, guys, so that was the intro, and Deftones, they're not my top 5 favorite bands, I know that, but they very well might be in my top 10 favorite bands of all time. But let's get into my number 9 pick. They pretty much have a perfect discography other than this album. So yeah, at my number 9 and last spot pick, we have, of course, Gore, which, honestly, looking at, like, Deftones rankings and posts and everything, you either love it or hate it, and this album is very different. The single off your Prayers / Triangles is actually really, really good. It's not in my top 10 favorite Deftones songs, but it's probably, like, in my top 20 or 30. But overall here, you know, their bassist's passing, sadly, like, it's just sad, you know, how he had to die, and probably they were going through lots even more around this time, but I just feel like it's very unbalanced. You start out with Prayers, Triangles, and then it just goes down and down even more. I don't really have much to say about it. It's pretty uninteresting, and some songs I actually don't really like. But other than this album, Deftones is an amazing band. But coming in at my number 8 spot, we have the debut, Adrenaline. Oh yeah. I used to think this was a conch shell, but it's actually a Booger Suckers. That is kind of funny. Very funny, actually. But yeah, the track listing on this album is Bored, Minus Blindfold, 1 Week, Nosebleed, Lifter, Root, 7 Words, Birthmark, Engine number 9, Fire All, I think that's how you pronounce it. Then, of course, there's a hidden 11th track, Fist. But yeah, it's pretty much, I'd say this and Around the Fur are both new metal albums. And their third album, White Pony, and even the self-titled fourth album do experiment with some new metal. I'd say their first 2 albums are the only new metal albums that they truly have, because there's clearly rap rock influence on here, and it is heavy, very heavy, fun album, and I do like listening to it. Bored, I absolutely love that guitar riff. Love that song, very great. Minus Blindfold and 1 Week are pretty good songs as well. I've always really liked 7 Words at the beginning of that, and then it just gets into this insanely heavy riff. But Engine number 9, insane, amazing guitar riffs all around with Chino Moreno just kind of just rapping over it. That's my favorite track on this album. And yeah, it's a solid album. I'd rate it like almost a 9 out of 10, but just compared to how amazing their discography is from 8 and up, this has to come in at 8th, but it's still a great album. But this is before they really got into some amazing shoegaze experimental stuff. So, at my number 7 spot, I have the self-titled Deftones album, which, by the way, they have some of the best cover arts ever. There's, of course, the iconic White Pony, which is so good. I literally have a stuffed animal lover. Look how cute she is. Of course, the Diamond Eyes album cover. We'll get to how amazing their album covers is, but this is another great album cover with the roses here. The songs are Hexagram, Needles and Pins, Minerva, Good Morning Beautiful, Death Blow, When Girls Telephone Boys, Battle Axe, Lucky You, Bloody Cape, Anniversary of an Uninteresting Event, and Moana. So, yeah, so this is right after, of course, Around the Fur and White Pony, which are 2 of the most iconic albums of the whole genre ever, of the new metal, experimental, shoegaze genres. So, you know, maybe, obviously I wasn't born around them, but you listen to White Pony, you're like, oh my gosh, so you're going to, then you come out of this, you might be a bit disappointed. It still has amazing production, it still sounds great. But the only reason this isn't 8th is because the first 3 songs, Hexagram, Needles and Pins, and Minerva, are all some of my favorite Deftones songs. They're probably all in my top 15 Deftones songs, which is probably all in my 100 songs of all time. After that, it takes a massive hit. I might make a video on this sometime. Albums that start off amazing, so front-loaded albums that lose steam. Because Hexagram, great drums and bass on that one. And it's really heavy. Needles and Pins, another heavy song. And of course, Minerva, love the music video. Love that guitar riff with that like boom, boom thing that's going on. Great lyrics too. Amazing lyricism on that track. And When Girls Tell the Phone Boys, very heavy song. Bloody Cape, good single. Yeah, this album is carried by the first 3 songs. But hey, it's still pretty good. So coming in at my number 6, I have Saturday Night Wrist. So this is the album that came out after the self-titled Deftones album, and I believe it was released in 2006 or 2007, something about that. Some amazing songs in here. This is when they really got shoegazy. Of course, Hole in the Earth and Maine are 2 great singles, but I've always really loved Cherry Waves, and even the instrumental song, like the Command Control thingy, with all those letters, pretty cool song. But there are also a few duds on here. Rats, 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 I've never really gotten into. And I'm honestly, without the CD, kind of blanking on the other songs. It has some great moments and some lower moments, but I do think just because it's not front-loaded and Cherry Waves is such a great song with that beginning and like the would you, I've always really liked that. It's been really fun. So yeah, that is my number 6, but it's a great album. I think the only reason it edges out, though it might not have as good peaks as the self-titled, I just think it's a lot more consistent and sounds better than the self-titled. But we are really starting to get good here with these top 5, and this one might be a bit surprising. This is the other pure nu metal album. Coming in at my number 5, we have, of course, Around the Fur, which I got this album at Barnes & Noble's for only $7.99, which is amazing considering how great it is. But, hey, I'm very glad they put that there. Well, they actually had it on the wrapper there, but I was able to peel it off, put it right there. So guess what? I don't have to get, like, in trouble or anything. So let's go. It's an all-time classic. The songs are My Own Summer, Ihabia, Mascara, Around the Fur, which is the title track, of course, Rickets, Be Quiet and Drive, Lotion, Die the Flu, Head Up, and MX. So, again, I'm sorry this is at number 5, but these, oh my gosh, number 8 and up are so darn good. Of course, the singles on here, My Own Summer, absolutely great track, one of their best hits. Be Quiet and Drive Far Away, probably a top 5 Deftones song from me. If it's not top 5, it's top 8. And again, the guitar riffs in those songs are absolutely driving, and I love the heavy parts of this as well as the, more laid-back parts of it when they start to get a bit more experimental. Like, Head Up, great song, begins really heavy, and then the last 3 minutes gets very shoegazy and quiet, which is pretty cool. And the title track and Mascara are both very good too, but if I'm being honest, Rickets and MX are very uninteresting. And considering how amazing the top 4 albums are, that's why I have to put this one so low. But it's still very great. Gotta love Around the Fur. It is an all-time classic. I understand if you put this at 1, honestly. I do. But don't try and hate me in the comments and be like, oh, I'm gonna bring up this random guy. Oh, Fuel is in your top 5 songs? I'm out. You can do whatever you want. I'm not gonna make fun of you, but come on, you don't have to say that in the comments. There's no point. You don't like the video, just click away. Okay? So coming in at my number 4 spot, we have the newest album, Ohms. This is when I got into Deftones. I knew Change since I started getting into metal and like heavier music, so probably since I was like 10, I was new Change, but Ohms came out around that time. And I was like, oh yeah, because the singles on here are great. The first 2 songs, which I kind of forget what they're called, I think it's Genesis and something else, those are very good. And there are some very cool just sounds on this album. The album cover is really cool too with like the eyes and stuff. But the last song out of the title track, Ohms, I love that song so much. It's in my top 10 Deftones songs. So many great elements on this album. And I just think it's a bit more even because it doesn't have the 2 duds like Around the Fur has. But still, I mean, great album, great singles, great sounds. But these top 3 albums, man, they're all in my top 50 albums of all time. So, like, what am I supposed to do? I think the top 2 are in my top 20 or, I don't know. I really don't know. But man, Ohms, great album, and if you're thinking about great albums, and one of the best album covers of all time in my opinion, maybe not most iconic, but just like some of my favorite album covers, you gotta talk about my number 3 pick. Koi no Yokan. Oh my goodness. This is one of the most dreamy albums ever. Ever. This is one of the most dreamy albums I've ever heard. Of course, you begin with the two singles, Swerve City and Romantic Dreams, which both have amazing riffs. One is like, and then Swerve City is that bang, very heavy, quick song, simple song. But I absolutely love the music video. I know they should have used a white pony in the Swerve City music video. But hey, Black Stallion is still really, really cool too. And yeah, as I said, this album cover is amazing. I don't even know what it is. I think it's like a night sky looking through like a glass window. I'm not sure. But man, what an album. Like, so as I said, the first two singles I absolutely love, and I love like the oh, and then it's like oh, it fades out right after the music stops in Swerve City, and it goes right into that guitar riff. Let's see here. Entombed and Graphic Nature, both very good songs. I really like Tempest as well. But Rosemary, I think that's my third favorite Deftones song, one of my favorite songs ever. The guitar riff, the light guitar riff, the little guitar thing at the end. I love that little interlude there. The heavy parts, like if I'm gonna drum to a song with a lights out at midnight, it's gotta be Rosemary. It's not even that it's that hard of a song to drum, and that breakdown, that gives me goosebumps. Rosemary is such a good song, and it transitions into Goon Squad, which is another very, very cool song, very atmospheric. Really like that song as well. So, Koi no Yokan, love the album, and the What Happened to You should not be the closer. No matter how good Rosemary transitions into Goon Squad, Rosemary should have been the closer. But, doesn't matter. This album is amazing. So, my number 2. So I wrote, White Pony, you're the cutest thing ever. But no, it's not number 1. Number 2, White Pony, the ultimate classic. Yes. White Pony. When I filmed my top 10 favorite albums of all time video, there was no honorable mentions, but my thumbnail had the 20 albums that I knew I was going to pick out, and White Pony was one of them. This is now my 21st favorite album of all time. My number 1, as you guys can probably guess it by now, obviously, is now in my top 20. It's not my top 10, but it's in my top 20 favorite albums of all time. But White Pony, my first Deftones album that I ever bought, it still smells so good to this day. I mean, man. It's a classic. The songs are Back to School, Mini Maggot, Fight-A-Carria, Digital Bath, Elite, RX Queen, Streetcar Teenager, Knife Party, or Knife Purdy, Korea, Passenger, Change in the House of Flies, and Pink Maggot. Of course, it says Change in the House of Flies. Amazing song, but it's not even close to the best on the album. Like, Back to School Mini Maggot is one of my least favorites, which wasn't on the original album. The original album cover looks like that. Like, it's gray with the little pony, but this is the recent album cover, which I like a lot more. But, yeah, so this is my 21st favorite album of all time. Just got out of my 20 Elite albums. But they have another album that's even higher, which is great. But this just edged out because I was listening to both, and I was like, oh, this is like debating. If I had, like, kids, this would be, like, picking a favorite kid, you know? And, yeah, but, like, Fight-A-Carria, Fit-A-Sierra, I don't know. That song's amazing. There's not really a chorus. It's just kind of the same thing all time, but I love the Soon I'll Let You Go part. Ugh! Amazing. Digital Bath, my second favorite Deftones song. Goosebumps, that's one of my favorite songs ever. Elite, good heavy song. The production on here is amazing. It sounds so good. This is them new metal, kind of. RX Queen, Streetcar Teenager are my favorites, but they're good songs. But then, this is why this is a classic. Knife Party, the guitar riff, the lyrics, that lady screaming all of the emotions ever. Chills. Korea, cool sound effects. But Passenger, of course, Maynard James Keenan's on it. It doesn't even matter if he wasn't on it. It's still an amazing song. It's almost as a duet. The lyrics, the guitar riff, the vibe. Change in the House of Flies, of course, a great hit, but it is a really sick song. And Pink Maggot might honestly be the best subjective song on the album, but it's not my favorite. This album is perfect, I'm going to admit, but it's not my favorite. My favorite, and now one of my top 20 favorite albums of all time, is Diamond Eyes. Okay, don't kill me, but they have some of the best album covers of all time. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my gosh, it is so cute. and it's dreamy. It is really dreamy album. Okay. The songs on this album are Diamond Eyes, the title track, that is, Royal, Command Control, You've Seen the Butcher, Beauty School, Prince, Rocket Skates, Sex Tape, Risk, 976 Evil, and This Place is Death. So, you might be wondering, why is this your number one? I love heavy music, but man, Deftones, when they're more like ambient and shoegazy, that's my favorite. This album has lots of that and some of their best songs, but this is what is my favorite in the band. Diamond Eyes, so heavy yet so dreamy at the same time. That is one of my favorite songs. Royal, good heavy song. It's alright. But the production on here is elite, and though no, there is no Chi Chang, he's still in his coma here, man. I like the line like at the bottom, like, hope to see you soon, buddy. It makes me so sad. Rest in peace again. But Command Control, really great deep cut, really good heavy song. I love that guitar. I found that they implement like on those really quick little breaks that synth. That's really cool. You've Seen the Butcher, Beauty School. No wonder they're singles. Absolutely love both of those. Prince, great bass line. Rocket Skates, really heavy song. Guns, razors, knives. Oh, so good. And that guitar. Okay, but then the first 7 songs, honestly, are all very, very fast-paced and quick and heavy. And you're starting to think, they obviously implement, like, the experimentalness and shoegaze with it, with that dreamy production. But it's all, like, their stop and go, quick songs, short songs. It's a pretty short album. But then there's Sex Tape. Literally, the first time I heard it, I had goosebumps into the first guitar note. Dude. Gosh, one of my top 10 favorite songs of all time. The music video is amazing too. The lyrics, the vibe, those drums hit so hard. Man, you gotta check that album out. Literally anybody, I don't care what music genre you listen to, you have to check Sex Tape out. And then at the end of Sex Tape, it leads perfectly into Risk, which is a heavy tribute to Chi. Love that song too. Great guitar riff. I know I say it a lot, but it really is an amazing guitar riff. 976 Evil, which is a song that always flew under my radar. I re-listened to it maybe a week ago, and that was the official elevation to make this my favorite Deftones album. And the last 4 songs, Sex Tape, Risk, 976 Evil, and This Place is Death, all lead into each other, and they all are some of my favorite songs. So yeah, Diamond Eyes, love this album with all my heart. Such a great album. First 7 songs are all really, really heavy and stop, go, quick. Last 4 songs are shoegazy, dreamy, and the production is amazing, and I love all the songs on here. So yeah, Deftones, Diamond Eyes is my number 1. Love this album. Deftones is great.
Thanks for watching this video. Now look at this person. And again, thank you for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe, even though Berlick is bad. Anyways, bye.